Hi, we're back again. A little bit late, a little bit late doing our videos, but catching up and reflecting on what we were doing yesterday.
It wasn't my fault. I had something to do, and it took a long time, and it made us run out of time.
Yeah,
So,
but it was really important work, so that's okay. I figured this. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yeah. So yesterday we were at another outreach centre. In a place, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, called Illidža, and that's again just on the outskirts of Sarajevo, not very far from the airport. So we had very low flying aircraft going over the building during the day. It was a bit scary actually. So how people living there, not everyone becomes accustomed to it, of course, because the noises can be triggers. So yeah. So again, as with almost all of the centres, the Healing Hands Network, there are offices of the concentration camp union. So not all, but a lot of the clients that we saw there have been in concentration camps. I think just about everybody has actually been in the concentration camp. And many of them have had lots of other experiences during the war as well. Most were also under house arrest, which I have to say, when I first heard about it years ago, being under, I thought, well, that's a little bit better than being in concentration camp. But no, I mean, the really terrible things that people experience there as well. So in the morning, we had a group who were all women, and then we had a second group in the afternoon as a mixture of men and women. And we were introducing them to, what were we introducing them to?
it was their first session. So we talked to them about the reason that they feel the way they do, and how that's a natural response, but that it is kind of, it shouldn't be running now, and this is why they're experiencing symptoms. And we then talk about how the techniques work, so that when we teach them the techniques, they fully understand how they're feeling, why they're feeling it, and how they can do something about it. And we were both saying yesterday how we really find it interesting working with the men. They come in very quiet and quite reserved and quite inward, and then you can see them start to light up and get more chatty once they start to realise that somebody actually knows what it's like for them. And I know we've mentioned this before, but it just struck us again how these two very quiet guys started to, well, not just relax, but have lots of questions and want to understand, and when can I do this, and can I use this to help somebody else, and how do I use this in my family when I have this difficult situation or that situation. And just seeing people change as we teach them this information and these very simple skills, but as has become probably the most strongest theme to what we're doing, is respecting where they are and respecting their capabilities of managing their situations already, and not suggesting for a second that we want to take away anything that they have built to cope with what they've been through. If anything, it's an honour to just share with them what we can in order to add to their skills. So they're very grateful for the fact that we even care enough to come and do this, but then obviously quite bowled over by the fresh perspective and the fresh picture that they can get about their situation. So I mean, I find that bit probably the most exciting, is that it is a paradigm shift, because they've gone from seeing their bodies and the way that they're responding is one way, and then getting it, actually really understanding, and then having the tools to start to change it. And that's slowly, that's not immediately, it's not a whirlwind thing, because it isn't safe to do that. And we've realised more and more that we need to equip people with the skills to actually stay present, get present for some of them, because they're so much in stress that they just don't know how to be present. They are constantly in that fight flight, constantly running these very, very strong programs. So coaching them through that very gently, and giving them the responsibility to do it for themselves, but being there to support them. And they really appreciate that, and they appreciate that respect. So we do debrief and chat quite a lot, and I think the thing that we were reflecting on this last time is how much you learn about yourself in doing this, because you really can't come here trying to fix people.
No, absolutely not. If you come with the attitude that I'm going to help those poor people, it's really not going to work. They have so much strength, as Sammy has already said. They really are very resilient people to be able to have gone through what they have and still be doing what they're doing. And living their lives the best way that they can, and actually having this amazing sense of humour, which is another coping strategy. It's another skill that they have, and really being very caring and wonderful for each other despite everything and all the additional stresses that they have here. You know, the unemployment rate in Bosnia is currently at 60%. So to be able to get a job for anybody is hard enough. To be able to get a job when you're running post-traumatic stress and maybe lots of physical problems and physical injuries as well that you've experienced still from the war.
And of course, with families having been shattered and not even having a full family group to bring an income in as well, so people really working either single parents or alone, or I mean the whole kind of structure makes it difficult.
Yeah. So we talked with them again about how what we aim to do, what we really hope we're going to be able to do, is to train local people to be able to do what we do, and to be able to teach these skills and share them with groups of people themselves, because that really is so important. We can be there in the background supporting them, but they really want to be doing it for themselves. And that's our aim. And we had a lovely thing happen yesterday. Yeah, one really lovely lady came in, and she, it's a very Bosnian thing to be making lace and crochet, and there's some very, very skilled craftspeople around. And I'm not going to share the whole story with you right now, because that's something that's going to come later on. But she just brought in this most amazing crochet work that she'd been doing, and some of it's in cotton and some of it was in silk, and it's absolutely stunningly beautiful. So watch this space, because we're going to tell you more in the future about a particular piece of work that she'd done, and how we hope that's going to help in raising money for us to be able to go back and do the work next year, to be able to train local people and carry on with what we're doing and extend the work that we're doing here. And she's really excited by that, and so were the rest of the people, the rest of the group that were with her yesterday in Illidža. So
part of that is later sharing their story and sharing their skills with you. We really want to sort of showcase some of this amazing stuff. So so yeah, I'm pleased about that. So we, as we say, we're running a little bit late with producing yesterday's video, but we've just finished another day's work, which we won't talk about right now. We're about to go out this evening to the last night of the concert from the Manhattan String Quartet that are in Sarajevo. This is their 5th year. And
it's the Sarajevo Chamber Music Festival. So the Manhattan String Quartet are one of these called Out of the Box. So they actually have some very famous classical artists playing here. They've been playing over the week. So as you know, we went to one concert where we saw the Manhattan String Quartet, and they've been here throughout the time, their 5th time. But tonight's a bit special. Tonight there's young people who are involved in the town are putting on a performance themselves, and according to the programme, it's a concert that's a mixture between a concert and I'm trying to find it now. What did I say it is?
Activist
art performance by these eager young artists, it said, and it's in support of the initiative to reopen Bosnia's National Museum in Sarajevo, which has been closed since the war. So we're really looking forward to that. We're going to be going there with the 2 therapists from Healing Hands Network who are here now. They're On their way back from Outreach Centre, they've been doing massage all day. So they've each of them been. We're doing massage for about 7 clients every day.
7 clients
which is
a day.
a lot in massage, especially in this heat. It's still about 34 degrees today. We're all baking, but promising rain tomorrow, so it'll cool down.
So watch this space for the next video where we'll share a little bit about today and what happens this evening.
Yeah. So bye from me.
And bye from her. I love to say that, everyone. Bye.